Hey friends, welcome back to Midway for Garden. If you are new here, my name is Sarah, and we just sort of fuss around in the garden. I've been gardening we had a garden when I was a little kid with like tomatoes and peppers and zucchini, I guess. But probably around COVID, it got a little more intense. So right now, today, we are going to pot up some tomatoes. Now, I am in a zone 6A, so for a lot of people, this is probably going to feel really late to be potting up teeny tiny tomato starts. And even in my zone, I think for a lot of people, they would think it was too late. Historically, I have started my seeds, let's see, it's the middle of April. Historically, I've started my seeds in the end of February, beginning of March, and by now I have 3-foot tall tomatoes that I am struggling to keep up with that can't go out for another 3 weeks. And this year, I decided I didn't want to do that. And so I planted at the very beginning of April, and actually, most of my tomatoes have been potted up, and they're okay. They're little. 3 more weeks, though, of growing, and they'll be a nice firm size for putting in the ground. So those will be great. These ones, just for whatever reason, took their dear sweet time germinating, and that's fine. They're doing really well now, and we're gonna get them potted up. They are a little leggy because I just didn't get the light close enough to them. And it turns out that for tomatoes, I don't actually mind leggy on seedlings because of how we are going to plant them. So we are using Happy Frog potting soil to pot these up. It works great. It's nice and loose. It's got some good nutrition in it, and it supports my plants pretty well. But let's do it. Let's plant up some tomatoes. Let's see if I can get you a little further down here. Okay. So the fun thing about planting up tomatoes, and I really did want these ones, you know, I have plenty of other tomatoes, but these are some sauce tomatoes, and I really want to be able to make sauce this year. So I did really need these to grow. So I just heated up their environment a little bit more, and they eventually germinated. And the great thing about potting up tomatoes, even ones that are a little leggy, is that my goal is to get them planted up to here, because all of this will become root system. And on tomatoes, the deeper you plant them, the stronger they are. So we are going to get them as deep into this little pot as we possibly can. We are just gonna, and they're pretty strong, so unless you fully snap that stem, you don't have to be crazy gentle with them. So I'm really just trying to get it as deep into this little pot as I can. And I've got a little bit of room in there. Now we are gonna fill it. I really just want just barely for all those little leaves to be out and for that stem to be very buried. Just like that. Okay, we're gonna get the rest of these potted up. This is a tray of 18, so I should certainly get at least 18 out of these. A couple of them double germinated, and I probably will go ahead and separate those out and plant them. So I'll probably have to get another tray ready too. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done with these guys, but I'll show you here. These are the ones that I planted up about a week ago from the exact same size. They were at least this size, if not smaller. And this is what the other guys look like now. And again, in 3 weeks when they're ready to plant out, they'll be probably about that size. And that's really all I need. I don't need them to be bigger than that. I don't need them to be happier or healthier than that. We also have some flowers. I am not an expert flower gardener, but I will show you maybe in a different video some flower planting. But today we're really going to focus on getting these tomatoes up and running. Like I said, it's the middle of April. So it's a little late for this, but it turns out tomatoes will do just fine. So just keep on doing it. this one is our newly planted babies, and it's gonna come right on up here. Other sauce tomatoes. I really find that having the lights like this so close, my lights are maybe just not as powerful as some people's lights. So this is what works for us. Now these ones I did just top water because they're newly transplanted, but I'm going to show you the things that I do to try and keep my plants healthy and happy while they are in here, and top watering is not a part of that. So these ones that have been in here for a little bit are pretty dry, and you know they're dry because they're super light. You can feel in there, and there's no real wetness in there. You do like to let them really dry out in between waterings. No plant really likes to sit in super wet roots. And then I bottom water. I fill up this little bottom tray, and you know, you kind of figure out how much it takes, but usually it's about 1.5 of these for me. And then these guys, over the next 20-30 minutes, will soak up all that water. So I'm going to go through here and water the rest of these guys. But the other things that I have in here, hold on a second. Things that I have in here that are very helpful are, I have a fan. A bigger fan would probably be even better, but I'm not working in an ideal space or under ideal conditions. And the plants that were having a little bit of trouble germinating also probably were going to have a little bit of trouble growing in this room. This is the room that I usually use for cool weather stuff, but it just has a little bit more grow light space. So I wanted to get these guys in here. So we just added a heater. So this is a heater. They're off right now just so that you can hear and I can be in here. But I set the heater to about 75 degrees. It doesn't have to be something crazy. It turns off when it's that warm in here. So if it's naturally warm, we're not wasting electricity. But it really does keep the plants much happier. So I'm gonna go through and water all these guys. I'm gonna show you our trillion tomato plants. We also have a few little eggplants hanging out in there and lots of peppers. These lights probably need to get moved just a little bit higher. They're starting to get pretty close there. So we'll move some lights around today too. So that's what I'm doing for my tomatoes and my peppers. I will take you along someday when I get my act together enough to play with flowers. I think we're probably just going to plant a lot of stuff outside this year, though I do have a few things inside. I have some celosia. I started a few Cosmo seeds inside, although they went a little crazy, and probably those should just get direct seeded outside. My marigolds don't germinate very well inside, although I did try a handful of them, but we'll plant a bunch of those outside too. I'm gonna plant some dahlias and some gladiolas and some snapdragons, and just kind of see what grows. All right, I'll take you along for more adventures in a little bit, but for today, just lots of tomato care. See you later.